What a Wednesday of football it is. We have Manchester City hosting Crystal Palace, a game that could very well decide the Premier League title. We've got the top two facing off in Ligue 1, despite PSG having wrapped up the title 99.99% champions. They are not my words, they are Luis Enrique's. There's the Coppa Italia final in Italy, there's La Liga games, there is absolutely huge games being played in Scotland, and we will take a look at them. You best believe we will. And plenty more. Honestly, what a day. And we're going to use the BetSlip Generator towards the end of this video to capture all of the value for the day and give us some nice doubles and trebles, so stay tuned for that. But first, let's take a look at some of these games. Without further ado, let's get into it. So we'll start with Manchester City against Crystal Palace, and I also wanted to mention Neymar, not related to any of these teams of course, but we will check out the game he's playing tonight and have a little bit of a chat about the World Cup and the plan for the channel going forward. But Manchester City, let's take a look at their recent results because it's pretty good. They have not lost a Premier League game since the 17th of January, but those draws, and that one draw in particular away at Everton, could be the killer in terms of the Premier League title. We can take a look at the table right now. We can see there just briefly that the informed teams across the last 6 games, there are 3 teams neck and neck, 2.33 points per game. Bournemouth, incredible. Manchester City and Nottingham Forest, well done if you were on the 2 of the 3 winning selections from the previous video. All really good odds, especially the Bournemouth pick. Tavernier shot on target, Bournemouth second half goal, and of course both teams to be carded. I think it was 3.5 or 3.6. Tavernier had 2 shots on target. Manchester City, they are in form, but of course that one draw away at Everton, how they wish they could replay that game. The table looks like this. 5-point gap. A win tonight takes it back to 2 points, but of course they are now relying on Arsenal to drop points. Arsenal play Burnley and then do play Crystal Palace just before they go away for their Conference League final. It was a really solid win for Manchester City against Brentford, 3-0 in the end. And I just want to focus on one player that has been absolutely superb this season. So the player I want to focus on is Nico O'Reilly. I think he's without doubt my young player of the year. I think he'll get the PFA Young Player of the Year, and he absolutely deserves it. He has won more games this season than any other Manchester City player. We can also go to check out some other data where he is excelling. So for dribble attempts, he is behind only Shirky and Doku. Think about that. Those two love the ball at their feet, as does Nico O'Reilly. Most tackles per game, you can see Crystal Palace, a team that are usually not on the front foot in terms of the way they play, the teams that they come up against. He is 5th combined, but in terms of Manchester City players, he is first, 2.09 tackles per game this season. That is more than Rodri. And for duels won, he is second in the Manchester City squad in the Premier League. Jeremy Doku, 165 duels won, 10 more than Nico O'Reilly. What a young player this guy is. And we'll end with goals because he's got 5 goals from left-back. I think this guy is going to be the starting left-back for England at the World Cup. Let me know what you think about that in the comments, of course. Lewis Hall and O'Reilly fighting for that left-back spot. Now, I'm just checking out our AI football predictions page here for a little bit of help, given that the odds for Manchester City are so low, and that comes because of Palace and their potential rotation here from now until the end of the season. They've got a couple more games after this, of course, before their Europa Conference final with Rayo Vallecano. But in the back of the minds of the players will be that final. They might not want to get injured. I think City will win this game, but we may have to explore other options to find value. So the AI football predictions page, you can check it out in the description. I'm just going to see what it says here because I've noticed something about corners here. City matches average 12.5 corners, with City winning 9.1 themselves and having more corners than their opponents in 9 of their last 10 games. Over 10.5 corners had landed in 8 of the 10 games. And in recent weeks, in the last month or so, Doku has been a mainstay in the team, and when he's playing, it kind of ups that corner count when they've got those wingers playing. Shirky as well likes to get to the byline. They do have the overlaps with the fullbacks as well. Nico Riley, who we've just mentioned. So corners for City, certainly expected. Goals for City. They've been winning in the first half in around 75% of their games. We can just check that. 71%, sorry, at home in the Premier League. They've been losing at half-time in just 6%. And we'll take a look at total shots now before jumping to Bet365 to put something together here. We can see Haaland, 124 shots this season. Mateta, half of that at 62. And O'Reilly is there again. Sarr, brilliant player for Crystal Palace. Scores some very important goals. Shirky's up there. What a first season it's been for him, really. Such a silky player, and he's keeping that man there above him out of the team, Phil Foden. So O'Reilly to have a shot, 1.18. Absolutely terrible, but it just shows the confidence that the bookies have in him and the positions he takes up. So here we go then, and there is a focus on Nico O'Reilly for a shot on target. It was evens. I do like that. This is for a bit of fun, by the way. End of season bet builder. Did really well in the previous Premier League video, so remember to hit like and subscribe if you are enjoying this content. O'Reilly to also commit a foul, and City to have over 3 corners in the second half. Their games have swung in the second half a little bit recently, especially in the last 10 games. Much more action and goals in that second half. So if Crystal Palace can keep things tight in the first 45 minutes, City will continue to press and get corners and put them under serious pressure in that second half. And I do think City will win this game, but the odds are just not worth including it. They could draw this game as they did against Everton, and this still lands. Next up, PSG away at Lens, and this is a top of the table clash which could have potentially meant more when it occurred. This is a postponed game. There was a bit of controversy around it when it was postponed, and you can see PSG and Lens not the form teams at the moment in France. They are the top two. They both played 32 games. PSG need to lose both games, but even if they do, they have a plus 15 goal difference. So that is why Luis Enrique himself has said that the league is 99.99% theirs. They need one more point to secure the league, and I think they'll get it tonight, definitely. And the odds are actually pretty decent for PSG. I just think PSG in any game in Ligue 1, if you can get them at evens or above, it is worth taking. We say this many times on the channel. When you see Cardiff in League 1 at home at evens or away at evens, we've had it a few times and I've mentioned it, and they won 3-0 in that game, the last game. It's just always worth taking. Yes, Lens are a good team, and we can see that they're in good form, especially at home, scoring plenty of goals. So the option really, well, the angle may be BTTS, because PSG may rest for the Champions League final, may not. Who knows? Dembele could play. He's just been awarded the Player of the Year despite starting 9 games. Looking at the head-to-head data, we can see that there has just been 1 win in the last 10 games for Lens, 2-0, 2-1, 1-1, 1-0, and that win came in 2023, so no recent win for the home team tonight. And if we look at the location history, it does change a little bit. Just 2 away wins in the last 10 games in this fixture. And also BTTS landing in 70% of games, so that is something to note as well. When checking out the player data, what we can do is look at the last 10 games for certain players, and we can see Sangare, 26 shots in his last 10 games for Lens. Fovin as well up there, Barcola with 21. Let's have a look at shots on target per 90, 1.44 for Barcola as well. Doué up there. Dembele, player of the season, is not even in any of these lists. Now, in the fairness of just, showing you all the data, not just giving you one side of the story, which is PSG can beat anybody, which is, I think, true, we should give credit to Lens and where they are in the league, and for there to be 2 games left, 2 or 3 games left, and they're still in with the shout mathematically. They're not going to win the league, of course. PSG just need a point, but They have done really, really well in their home form. You can see here they've conceded just 11 goals at home this season. Clean sheet in 50% of games, but it is not every week that they play PSG. I was toying with this one, over 2.5 goals in the second half, but I'm just going to keep it simple. PSG to win this game and secure the title against the team that is currently second. Now we do have Coppa Italia action, and we're going to use OddAlerts AI for this one. I also want to just show you some new additions to the fixture. You've probably noticed them already. One of the things is that you can just click on history up here and then jump back to any fixture you have checked out. So we can just quickly go to the Man City game and it loads straight away. We can jump back to the Lazio game, and you can also find similar games based on similar data, the same league. Of course, this is the final game of this competition. Same country, and similar data uses the probability model to find similar matchups around the world, which is pretty interesting. Version 1, so if you've got any feedback, let me know in the comments. There's also been a bit of an update to the UI as well, which you'll notice and feel once you start using it. So we'll use OddAlerts AI for this one, and we can just see, looking at the probability model straight away, that Inter are favourites, no surprise there. This is a cup final, of course, so bear that in mind. Let's see what we get here. So we have the response here, and we're scrolling down to see the most likely outcomes. Over 1.5 goals is the most likely outcome, and we have a value bet here. Over 2.5 goals at above evens. Now, of course, it's a cup final. We could see a tighter display from both teams. The bet builder that's been suggested here is Inter Milan to win and over 1.5 goals. Now, I showed you that we have player data baked into the fixture. Now, what you can do is ask AI a follow-up question about player data. So I'm going to say, who's the best for a shot on target in these teams? And it will go away and tell us Marcus Thuram tops the charts with 3.27 shots per game in his last 5 outings. So you've got some interesting options there, and of course you can go and check out the stats tables and check out the players. Inter Milan to win and over 1.5 goals is a suggested double. Can we add a player combination to that? Let's check out the odds on Bet365. Just before we do, we'll check out the recent history between these two teams. The last couple of games, no goals for Lazio, 3-0, and then 2-0. Before that, a 2-2 draw, and then a 2-0 win for Inter Milan, 6-0, 1-1. Not been a win for Lazio in a while. In fact, just once in the last 10 games. Let's have a look at the odds, and we can see 1.73 is the peak for a win at full time. And what a way to prepare for this game, by playing Lazio in the previous game, 9th of May, 3-0. They were 2-0 up at half time. That was away at Lazio. Now this is the Coppa Italia final, of course, but that is a good way to prepare, and you can see they are scoring plenty of goals. 3-2, 2-3, 3-4, 5-1, 1. Scored in every game since early March, and they are firm favourites in my mind for this one. The referee is Marco Guida, who is someone that keeps his cards in his pocket until the second half. 2.8 cards per second half. He books both teams in 80% of his games in Serie A this season, and 80% of his games have seen 2.5 or more cards. So 3 is the magic number for me. Inter Milan to win over 1 goal as suggested by OddAlerts AI. Again, link in the description if you want to check out the AI football predictions page. Thuram to have a shot on target and both teams to receive a card is 3s for the Coppa Italia final. Which game will you be watching tonight? Let me know in the comments, and if you've got any predictions, please do share them. I'd love to read them. Now, there are games being played in Spain, but I just want to end by taking a look at Scotland because it is a very exciting title race. Motherwell hosting Celtic. Now, Celtic won at the weekend with, if you saw the overhead kick, that was absolutely incredible. This is what it looks like so far. So you would expect both Hearts and Celtic to win tonight, which means it goes down to the final day of the season when Celtic play Hearts for a basic title decider game, 90 minutes, winner takes all. That's going to be some occasion, or spanner in the works, something happens tonight. What I will say is that Celtic are conceding away from home. If you look at their goals conceded, it's so easy when you use the drop down to just see it color coded. Look at the sea of red there. So that is one thing to flag any, some potential value there in BTTS, or over 2.5 goals and Celtic to win. BTTS is currently at 1.57, so the bookies are expecting it as well. There's been many games this season where Celtic have gone behind and then come back to win, as they do have the quality to do so. And for Hearts, they are superb at home, no doubt about that. They are unbeaten at home this season. And if we look at the fixtures, one game remains away at Celtic, 12:30 kickoff. Unbelievable ending, box office stuff. I think Hearts will win tonight, so do the bookies, 1.45. If they don't, then they've only got themselves to blame. The probability model is expecting them to win as well, 55.4%. Let's have a look at Falkirk and what they are doing at this moment in time, away from home. Not bad, to be fair, not bad. They've got a few wins in there. 3 defeats since December away from home, so it's not terrible by any means. They went away to Celtic and scored. They've actually scored in their last 3 away games and 4 of the last 5 away games. So BTTS in both of the games tonight could be a shout, given that it has occurred in many games recently. In fact, in the last 5 games for Hearts, as they enter this very, very nervy stage of the season, they're not losing those games, which is the all-important thing for them. And just finally on Hearts here, they have scored a first half goal in 44% of home games compared to 78% in the second half. They are seeing most goals scored in the second half as well, 56% compared to 28% in the first half and 17% tie. We can just take a look as well at the goals scored in the first half for the away team here. Falkirk have scored just 6 away goals in the first half, 0.35 per game, 0.61 for Hearts compared to 1.28, so they are a second half team. And we're going to go with a double here for a bit of fun, just to hopefully set up the perfect title deciding game on Saturday. Both teams to win, over 2 goals in that Celtic game. They could concede BTTS, but again, they might not. So I think it's actually less risk going with over 2.5 goals. Let me know what you think about that, of course, in the comments. Hearts to score in the second half and to win. Again, shop around, as I always say, because the odds on Bet365 are not always the peak. Now, I promised it at the start of the video, and here is the BetSlip Generator. Let's see if we can get some better selections than the ones we've created. Let's see, shall we? The markets that we are going to select here, we'll keep it the same as we did on the last video because it did quite well. We've got home goals, away goals, and over 1.5 goals. And in terms of the fixtures, we're looking at all leagues across the next 48 hours. Let's do. And the odds source is Bet365. You can change this to the bookmaker of your choice, of course. We're looking at target odds of 2.5. Items per slip, we can change. No, we can keep it as 3. Let's go for a treble. We hit get, and we get selections here, 2.71 with some odds that are rising. An away goal in Bulgaria tonight, 6:15. A game from Thursday in Kuwait. Again, odds rising marginally over 1.5 goals there, 1.33. High probability. All value bets here, 8% value on the total slip. It doesn't just give you one selection, this tool, it gives you many, and we can see we've got games from La Liga, Real Sociedad to score away at Girona, 1.33. BTTS has been fantastic for Sociedad, they are profitable. If you check out our new team profits page, I'll link that in the description as well. And we actually have another game from La Liga as well tonight, over 1.5 goals at 1.36. Again, that is a value bet given the data and given the probability model, and then an away goal in Egypt. So that is a treble for today that is at our target odds. So let's use this one in man versus machine and see which of our selections wins, and if this one does as well. Now, I mentioned Neymar in the intro, the Brazilian prince. Will he go to the World Cup? He's in the 50-plus man squad, and Santos have a game tonight, so another chance to impress Carlo Ancelotti. In the last 10 games, just going to reel off some of his data here, and I want to get your thoughts in the predictions, whether he should go or not. Key passes, as we can see here, 29 in the last 10 games. He's got 5 goals, 9 shots on target, 53 dribble attempts, 5 big chances created, 75 duels won, and 49 fouls drawn in the last 10 games. He's in the 50-plus man squad. So is Thiago Silva, who's not been in the Brazil squad since the last World Cup. So it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to go to the World Cup. But you never know with an injury or so. He is coming into a bit of form. But what is the 50-plus man squad all about? I've never seen that before. England have announced one. Trent Alexander-Arnold is in it. 50-plus players is too much. So that was the video. I'll leave you here with some trends for the next few days. If you've enjoyed this, please do hit like and subscribe. And if you're new here, leave a comment with your own predictions and I'll be sure to read it and reply to you. Until the next time.